Welcome and thank you for joining me today for this debut episode of Integration Companion talk show, and today's one is titled Starting Afresh. So, and I've got a wonderful guest today, the Ngozika Ike, who lives in the same city with me, and she's one of my backbones, my pillars in Sheffield where we live. But I will give her an opportunity to introduce herself. But I want you to know that you are making history. Being on this platform, you are making big history, because this is the first episode and we will want to have it every first Sunday of the month. And I've got lined up guests waiting for their month to come. So today we've got this lovely lady here. Ngozika, please, can you introduce yourself briefly to us? Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Chinny, for having me. I'm really happy to be here. My name is Ngozika Ike. Work-wise, I'm one of the care managers with NHS Integrated Care Board South Yorkshire. Ministry-wise, I serve in children department and guidance and counseling of my current church, Liberty Church in the city of Redland.
Wonderful.
You're all welcome. Thank you, ma'am.
Wonderful. Thanks for being my special guest today. I'm not taking it for granted. So let's kick off the discussion with knowing more about you, looking at your background and your first arrival experience. What was it like? So when did you come to the UK, and what was your initial experience when you arrived?
I arrived in UK 2003. Honestly, it was both exciting and overwhelming, but I was determined to make it. I came as a nurse to an agency, but it was really I was very unfamiliar with British culture. I was very unfamiliar with the language. I think that was the bit that was not pleasant at the beginning.
Okay, so the culture and
the language.
Yeah. Okay, we will get into that. Saying the language, they speak English, and Nigeria, I know we speak English. And I when people hear about that, the shock from the language, are like, oh, I thought we speak English in Nigeria. I'm glad we're having this. And welcome, B. Who is B? Welcome, please. If you can write your full name there, and those using Sam iPhone, just put your name so that we can welcome you. Yeah, so we are recording. For your information, we are recording and we are going to upload it in my YouTube channel and social media handles. So with me today is my guest, for the sake of those who are just joining us, and she is Mrs. Ngozika Ike, according to her. I say Ngozika Ike.
Yeah, that's the right.
And she has told us when she arrived UK and her first challenge. So going forward, I know that that's something many newcomers struggle with. But among everything, what was your biggest challenge? Because you are talking about the language and this. Can you elaborate a little bit more on that, please?
Yeah, my biggest challenge, like I said, was, Dr. Chinny says, am I not speaking English? Yes, I do. But if I use the word accent, to hear clearly what they were saying to me. And being a nurse and to undergo adaptation program to get my PIN number as a nurse in the country. So it was a challenge for me to cope with the adaptation. And it come to a point that the place I was allocated, when I came into the country, I couldn't make it there. I was frustrated. I need to move. So somebody else have to help me to move over to London. The place I was in Derbyshire. So I have to move over to London and have to pay again to another agency to have the adaptation done. So that was my biggest challenge.
Oh, so from my understanding, your challenge then was getting the license to practice your profession in the UK and
Yes.
moving from one city to the other, trying to get it, and also paying double because finance could have been an issue that time. And
Mm-hmm.
yeah, that's fine. So, like, when you let's go back to language. You see, this
Mm-hmm.
language, even till now, is not everything I have understood because I've been here for like 20 years. And some things you're like, sorry, come again, what did you say? You know, that kind of. So it's not out of place for new arrivals to say they didn't hear, they didn't understand what was said. And because the way the sound, the Caucasian English people speak sounds like fast to us. And I get like, what? When they say, oh, Chinny, you speak so fast. I'm like, really? Yeah, so that language of a thing is always an issue. And when people arrive the UK, don't assume because you speak English, you will not have that challenge. And that's why they ask us to write those IELTS exams and
Mm.
TOEL exams, yeah, TOL exams. So, is it okay to move on to the next question? Or do you have something else you want to add to that particular first shock? If
Yeah, I
not,
think you've explained it. Yeah. We can move to the next question now.
okay. It's because of those shock, those challenges, those complications. That was why I wrote the book, Integration Companion for New Arrivals to the UK. You know, nobody really understands these things if it's not explained to them properly. Life in the UK is something. So I would like to ask, I think you have had a feel of the book.
Yeah.
So when you first looked at the book, what stood out for you? And when you read it, what expanded to you?
What stood out for me, the book covered like everything someone needs to know to get easily integrated, adapted in the country. If this kind of book had been there for me to read at that time, I believe I wouldn't have that particular initial challenge. So what stood out for me is understanding the British culture there, understanding the communication, how to navigate myself to settle, because that was my initial challenge. So it became more important to me when I read through the book. And then the emotional attachment, how the book is really written is wonderful, cannot be overemphasized.
Oh, thank you so much.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. I'm glad the way you talked about the emotional attachment. Actually, I think I saw myself in that book when I was writing. I wasn't just writing a book. I
Hmm.
was writing it
Yeah.
like I've gone to Manchester Airport or Gatwick or Heathrow, and I've picked a friend who's arriving the UK for the first time, whether for visiting or as a tourist or as a student or an asylum seeker, anybody. I just felt I've picked that person, and that is me in the book, showing the person this is how we do it here, this is how we do it here. Thank you for bringing that out, and that encourages me to know that at least somebody reading the book has kind of understood where I was coming from. Yeah.
Hmm.
Okay, B, you are Bidemi. My Bidex, welcome, eh? Thank you so much for joining us. And that is also moving us to our next discussion point. At a point, opportunity will be given to those on the floor if you want to make contribution or if you want to ask a question. But let me just deal with my guest first, okay? Yeah. So, going forward, the next question I want to ask is, you know, the key parts of the book. You've mentioned the emotional connection, you've mentioned different things, but which parts do you think would have helped you most if it was there when you arrived? if that book was available when you arrived?
Yeah, the part again that would have helped me most is where you were talking about housing. Housing. To be honest, people traveling or migrating to UK currently having this book available is a great privilege because if what I knew, what I understood from the book, if I knew it, I wouldn't have another challenge of housing issue. That was another big challenge. I don't have no idea. You just, okay, I need to buy a house. Then nobody to tell you anything. You don't know who to talk to. You just proceed. You're doing what you're doing. And I found myself getting accommodation where I had no peace. I had no peace. People I now begin to ask myself, is this UK? Do we have people trooping in to spot somebody's house? Yes, there are areas you can live and you can have such a challenge. So that was another part of the book that was very, very encouraging to me. Housing. Thank you, ma'am.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you for bringing that up, because at times we just dive into something that we don't know.
Mm,
And there's one good thing with UK system. They keep records and they update the records. So at times there are places you'll be looking for accommodation, and when you check the crime rates of that place,
that's the
or
thing.
if there are people doing some atrocities in that area, then you can refrain from going to look for accommodation. And that's why it's good to ask
Mm,
those who are on ground. Like me, at times some people will come and say, oh, I need accommodation, and I will say, is it so 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 and so area? Don't near there. I live
mm,
in this place, I've lived there before, so it's good to ask questions when
mm.
people go to a new place anywhere, not just UK. And then like in that book I talked about um knowing your rights, your responsibility as a tenant, and what your
Yeah.
landlord is supposed to do too, is in that
Mm.
book, and how to actually look for the accommodation. And if I want to dwell more on those typical challenges, what did you feel about the health system when you came? I know you were a nurse before you arrived UK. What do you
Yeah.
think?
The health system. Obviously, you will encounter an issue with that if you have health issue. So because I didn't have any health issue at the initial time I arrived in UK when I know nothing. So I didn't have that aspect of challenge. Yeah. But then it was very unfamiliar the way the system works. When they say GP, in Nigeria, I go to hospital and they say, no, you can't go to hospital, you know. So the system was just a different scenario of understanding. I need to go and register to a GP and get myself seen first. It will only be GP that will take me to hospital if I need to be there for any specialty situation. Yeah.
Exactly, exactly, exactly. You see, I'm glad you're bringing these things as challenges, because even in that book, I dedicated a chapter to health system, how to integrate
Yeah.
into the health system, and whether you're ill or not, whether you're sick or not, whether you have any health issue or not, immediately you arrive UK, you need a GP, and you have to register with the GP. That's compulsory. You just have to register with the GP, and then you register your children with even yourself with dentist and with optician. And the system here, the healthcare system here, is quite different, and that's why we're having this conversation, just to look at our experiences and what the book is offering. Is it useful or is it not? So let me ask another thing. What about
Mm.
cultural adjustment? How did you deal with that?
Yeah, cultural adjustment. I would say I had an opportunity to have a landlady who introduced me to my African culture. So that made it a little bit easier for me to navigate. But in terms of British culture, yeah, it's so like books to study every day to learn how to get integrated with the British culture when things are not African way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So when we hear about culture, it's like it's just about the way people do their thing. And
Hmm.
if you the first chapter of my book was all on British etiquette, British
Yeah.
culture, the queuing, the not shouting before they think you're aggressive, the saying please, thank you, and things like that. And the when something has happened, what do you do? When people have accused you wrongly, how do you do? There's nothing like jungle justice. Even if people came to your house to attack you, you don't have to go over the board to defend yourself, but you need to defend yourself. If you hit somebody on the road driving, what do? Those kind of things. Queuing and yeah. I also told them about cultural, traditional food that is being sold in the UK in different tradition, different culture. I talked about different religious group and the diversity in ethnic groups in UK. Everything is there, but the most important thing is that you need to ask. Communication is very important when you arrive to UK. Communication is very
Communication.
important. Ask your neighbors, ask your friends, ask your colleagues, ask questions so that you don't miss it. Biola Yusuf, welcome. I've seen you. Welcome. And we are recording this, if you don't mind, and it will be uploaded in the YouTube channel and my social media handles. Thank you for coming. I appreciate you being here. So we'll move on to our next discussion, which will be asking you about the emotional side of your integration. I know
Yeah.
you talked about your landlady, linking you up with people from the ethnic group.
Yeah.
But many people talk about practical challenges, but they forget to talk about emotional side of things. That loneliness, that fear,
Mm.
that identity. Even though you've been introduced to people that look like you, there are people you don't know before. So
Yeah.
how did you handle that? Like me coming to the UK, my first uh, challenge I thought I would have was leaving the family, the friends, the church I have, the community I have, and how do I build one here? And then
Mm.
when we came, the first birthday of my husband was in March. So I tried something out to see how much I have done within these 5 6 months we've been here. So I did a surprise birthday for him in OFNC. He didn't know. So I invited one or two of his friends that are outside Sheffield and then the church. So I said, oh, okay. So I'm building a community, but now I have vast communities. Yeah. So how did you handle that emotional part of isolation kind of thing?
Yeah, thank you, Dr. Chinny. Yeah, there was a times I felt isolated. I felt like because I came alone, and my husband and my children joined later. So there was a time I felt like I've no got nobody to talk to. I don't even know somebody to ring up, at least talk through the phone. And with the challenge of settling down with my adaptation course, I felt like, do I go back? Why can I go back? I've resigned, I've retired. So it was really, it's only that African gathering. Once I go there and I go to church, that's it. I don't know anybody. But then with time, yeah, asking questions like you said in the book, integrating yourself, talking, I was able to begin to know communities, below, know people to talk to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's lovely. That's lovely. Yeah. Do you know? I tell people integration is not weakness.
No
Is a process. It's a very big process.
process,
So when you
honestly.
don't know anything, doesn't mean that you're stupid or daft. So when you feel lonely, like in my book, I talked about bonfire, and I said, just go out and join others. But personally, myself, I've not gone for bonfire. I've not gone for bonfire, and because we have a lot of community activities, we have a lot of church activities and stuff like that. But some people are very lonely. Take yourself out to shopping, window shopping, ask question. In short, do you know, if you really need to have a conversation with somebody you don't really know, go to the bus stop in the early morning, around 7:30, 8 a.m. in the morning. You will see the old retired people that are going out to the shops for tea, breakfast, and they will start talking to you because they were lonely at home, nobody to talk to. Yeah, they will start talking to you. I used to do a long shift those days, and when I come out at the bus stop 6:30, and I'll be telling myself, why is this woman here? She should be sleeping now. What? Even those days, another shock I had was when I go to shops and I see old people, carrying their trolley, I'm like, this one should stay at home and rest now. What is it? But I came to understand that they can't stay at home, because if you force them to stay at home, it's like abuse. This coming out is helping them to socialize and, help themselves do little exercise. Thank you for bringing that in. So, people, if you're yet to come to the UK, or you're in the UK and you have not integrated, you can be here for 10 years, you have not integrated. You can be here for 10 years. I'm telling you, you have not integrated. Try and socialize. Try and integrate. It is important that you integrate. Okay, let's move forward then. Another thing too is being humble. Being humble. Honestly, I tell you, humility helps you a lot to integrate, because at times there are a lot of things that will come across your way at work or somewhere, and that puts you off. You just end up being demoralized, being depressed, making you feel like you are nobody. So if you think of what you were before you came to the UK and you dwell on that, then you are not making any move. So humble yourself, accept your present state, so that you can have a clearer understanding of what your future looks like. I think I dedicated a page to this particular statement in my book. Because when you see yourself, you're doing all these many jobs and you're complaining, that complaining will becloud you. You will just end up every time mourning, this is what I've come to here, and you just be mourning. You wouldn't have a clearer vision of what your next plan is, because you're beclouded with what you're seeing at that time. So my advice is, people, if you're already in the UK and you're trying to adjust and things are not working, yes, they don't work like that. You have to sit down and plan, and intentionally plan. Okay, so let's thank you so much for those that have joined us. We are here today, my special guest with Dickness Ngozika Ike, and we both live in Sheffield, and she's a nurse and a senior manager in where she's working now in the social care now?
Integrated Care Board, South NHS.
Yeah. Okay, you are the people moving our healthcare in the country, because the way it's going now, I think we might have more care in the community than in the hospital going forward. Yeah. And that's one other thing with UK. It's very dynamic. Nothing is static here. Things, they do research, everything evolve. So when you arrive or you're already here, try to evolve. Don't just stay. Like myself, I came with staff nurse midwife. I had my first degree at 45. Now I'm a PhD holder and a senior lecturer. So evolve. Don't just be static there. Try and evolve. Somebody has just joined us. Shala, welcome. And we are recording and we'll upload later. Thank you. So I don't know. It's not compulsory. I'm just trying to give us opportunity. Myself and my guests have been talking since. I want to give us opportunity to ask questions or make contributions. Please raise your hand if you want to say something, or if you want to ask a question or make contribution. Raise your hand, and then either you can unmute yourself. I think I've given you a right to unmute yourself. And don't be shy. Share your experience with us. What was your shock when you came? How did you overcome it? You never can tell. If the person that will be useful to is not on this call, the person might listen to it when we upload it, and then get an idea. Does anyone wants to say something? Or do I continue with my guest? I'm giving you the opportunity to say something.
Continue, ma.
Okay, shall I? Okay. Are you speaking for yourself, or are you speaking for everybody on call?
I'm speaking for myself anyway.
Okay, darling. Where did you log in from anyway, if I may ask?
I'm Sandra. I don't know.
Oh, you changed your name. I was wondering. I thought you have logged off. Yeah.
No, not at all.
Okay, you changed.
Very interesting. I can do that.
Okay. So, do you want to tell us your own experience, or which part of it shocked you? Which part of it shocked you when you arrived?
The first speaker, the language, the accent, you have to listen carefully. Sometimes somebody will have said something. After he's gone, I will now realize what he was saying. Very funny, Yeah. So I asked question that, can I cope here? So I was now told that when they talk and I don't understand, I should tell them to speak slowly, so I'll get whatever they are saying.
Okay, thank you. Yeah. Thanks for that contribution. Yeah, that's language thing, eh? Even till tomorrow. Yeah, and somebody, one of our guests, our participant has put in the chat. He said, my cultural shock was people opening the doors for random people. No adding of ma, sa when speaking to adults. Good. That's a good one. Even till tomorrow, I'm still struggling with calling my boss by the first name and stuff like that. You're right, my dear sister. You're right. It was a very big cultural shock. And when we started this adaptation in the nursing home, and you see this lady that is 100 and something, and you see a small girl of like 20 who will go to the room and say, come on girl, get up. I'm like, what? Grandma, come on girl. Then in the nursing home, you say, girl, sit down there, you boy. I'm like, what? Then one day, when I finished, got my PIN number, and I started work with NHS after 1 year after that. Then the first day I resumed at work, I was in the, they come early to drink tea, to chat, and before taking over. And we were there. Then there were 2 students that came for placement that were there. We were sitting down. And you know where we are coming from. Your matron enters, you stand up to greet. You know that kind of thing. Yeah. So these other students sat there cross-legged drinking tea. And then the matron entered. And my first day, I think she came to look for me. So I got up, I said, oh, good morning, matron. I've been here for 1 year at least. I know that they don't like the master. They say it makes them sound old. So all those ones I should have called, I used to say uncle this, uncle that, and everyone would be laughing at me. That where is your uncle? I say it's there. So I got up and said good morning, matron, and she welcomed me, and then she said something. And the student drinking tea, crossing leg there went, oh, don't be silly, matron. My God. I just left the room. I said, why would she be telling matron don't be silly? To us, it's like disrespect. You understand what I'm saying? So there are a lot of things we need to adjust when we come here. Oh, thank you, Sandra. Thank you, BDEX, for that contribution, because we're about winding down now. And my special guest, my debut guest in this talk show. I still want to give you 1 or 2 more minutes to say something if you want to add to what you have contributed already.
Yeah, see, I just want to contribute to, you said it's about yourself, upgrading ourselves. The system we are, they believe in education, they believe in certificates, if I want to use that word. So we need to be upgrading, asking questions, because I came just as a diploma nurse. And then from questions, asking questions, I was able to understand I can do my degree, which can be funded by NHS, which I did. And that gave me the opportunity to have the job I'm doing today. And I'm still pushing. I have also upgraded to do my master's in leadership by apprentice, and that hopefully will take me to another level. So it just encourages us to ask questions. Knowledge is power. If you don't talk, if you don't ask, you will not know how to navigate yourself to move forward. Yeah,
Thank you. Thank you. You mentioned apprenticeship. So when we came new, that apprentice something is like, no, they have to go to university. Oh, somebody has just joined us. Who is that now? They have to go to university. But you found out that with that apprenticeship thing, you kind of like graduate with experience already, which is what they are looking for in the
your
UK.
full-time job working.
Yeah. So the time you get the job with the experience. The person that joined us is on some song. We are recording. We're almost closing. So we are recording this session, and it will be uploaded in case you are not aware. Thank you for joining us anyway. Now, before we close, let me ask an open question, but I will allow my guests to speak first, maybe in the next 1 minute. What does integration mean to you today? What does integration? You can put it in the chat if you can. If you don't want to speak, I will read it out. I will soon be closing so that we'll have a rest. Yeah.
So is that for me to answer?
Yeah, just in a minute. Yeah. What does integration mean to you?
Yeah, integration to me, it means confidence.
Yeah.
It means feeling that I belong here, that I understand how life works here because I've really integrated myself, and that I can contribute to society and still respecting where I come from. So integration doesn't mean losing yourself. It means building a new version of home where you are residing.
Wow, it's like you really read that my book very well. And you're talking from experience. Well done. I like the way you wrapped it up. Confidence, knowing what is in the new place, not throwing away your former identity. Some of us come here, we forget where we come from, we forget our culture, we want to behave like the Western world. Instead of you taking the best part of the Western world to behave, you follow the vices, the bad ones. So that will not take us to anywhere. So integration is a beautiful thing. Well, and you have said it beautifully. For me, integration is, in addition to what you've said, maybe somebody might disagree with me. Integration is like going into somewhere and maybe 200 people are different color from you, and you're feeling unique, you're feeling special, you don't feel intimidated, and that's where the confidence comes in.
Yeah.
Thank you. Is there anybody that wants to say anything, please, because we are rounding up now? Anybody?
Yeah, let me just say this. Sorry, my name is Pastor Sam. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you, sir.
So
Thank you. Anyway, that's my wonderful husband who has been so supportive. He's giving me the platform to fly, the wing to fly, everything. He's been very supportive. And today being my first day of doing this program, he left everything he was supposed to be doing and said, "My queen, I'll be there. I will see what you're doing." So thank you, sir. I don't take it for granted.
God bless you, sir.
Bless you, sir.
Thank you.
God bless you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much. Yeah, so I think one of the challenges or shock that I had was the weather. And it was, we are coming from 40 degrees centigrade. And we came in November. I can't forget that. We came on the 11th of the 11th, 2005. So on that day, it was something else. So first 2 o'clock, it was pitch dark. Wow. So what's happening? So you can't even see anything. And also, as time went on, the cold became so biting that you do dress as if you are those that are in the Eskimos. But the thing is, we came to just adjust, and I think weather is a key thing for every one of us. For me, but thank God today we know how to manage it.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir, for that contribution. And that brings us to the end of the discussion. And until next time, this is going to be happening every first Sunday of every month. So the next time is 7th of June. And I think the speaker for that one will be a pharmacist who has agreed to be my guest. And she's also got a PhD. So her story will also encourage us. So thank you for coming. And until next time, stay hopeful, stay informed, and keep building yourself. Their new beginning never ends. As at yesterday, I was talking of a new thing where I'm launching in. So you can never say you've done. You have never done. And as you stay, remain integrated, make yourself seen, make yourself heard. If you don't celebrate yourself, nobody will celebrate you. Thank you so much, and bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye. I stop recording.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.